Let's talk about Todd Gurley. He went to the St. Louis Rams in the draft, which he's an excellent, excellent player, but he's also dealing with a lot of ACL issues, and I know he's going to be a critical, critical player to their bench. Then you've got, let's see, Robert Havenstein, who had the worst bench press in the entire combine. I'm not really sure they picked up a lot of great players in the draft other than Gurley, and we're not really sure that Gurley's going to do that great, especially towards the beginning of the season while he's dealing with this injury. So what do you guys think about the St. Louis Rams?
Yeah, I would say that that you hit on all the uncertainties. I mean, they did draft a lot of guys to shore up their biggest weakness, which was the offensive line. The question is, how effective will those guys be? I mean, there's a chance that those guys will be, superheroes in the early going, and that Gurley will be great. I mean, his upside, I think, is potentially as big as Adrian Peterson. So, I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams won like their first 4 or 5 games or whatever, but it also wouldn't be surprising if they fell flat and needed a year or two to get together. So, to me, it's a pass just because of the unknowns.
Well, I can go ahead, and you guys can probably rip me for saying some of these things. Sure. The Rams did, as I think their draft will have more impact on their regular season win total than anybody else, and I'll tell you why. I think that this team, it's exactly as Peter said. I don't think one team in the entire draft focused more on one area of weakness than the Rams. They just said, fuck it. Like, we are going to run the ball come hell or high water. They drafted offensive linemen. They drafted Gurley. Don't forget they had Trey Mason last year. This team, Jeff Fisher, he's like, okay, we can play defense. If we can run the ball, we're going to be competitive. And I think that's really the key to the Rams here. They got Gurley, who could be, as Peter mentioned, the next Adrian Peterson, Eddie George. We've heard so many comparisons. There's not a lot of rookies in general that can come in and have an explosive impact, become Pro Bowl level. I think Gurley is one of them, and he's in a pretty good situation because the Rams are willing to force the ball down every team's throat. So if it works, I think the Rams have made a bigger impact on the win total than any other team.
Dave is preaching to the choir because I think anybody who is trashing what the Rams did in the draft just doesn't know Jeff Fisher. Like this draft for the Rams was so Jeff Fisher. Like we obviously know what he's trying to do. And look, the team in that division that just happened to have gone to the Super Bowl now twice in a row and won one of them has a lot of success by playing defense and running the crap out of the football. He looks at that formula and says, my defense is pretty good. I have an outstanding young running back in Trey Mason. I just picked up another one in Todd Gurley, who, like you guys said, and this is the only thing I think I'll disagree with you, Dave, is I don't think Gurley's going to have as much impact in year 1 as he does in years 2, 3, and 4, because we've seen from these rookies that are coming off the ACL injuries in college that their year 1s aren't necessarily as good. So I don't know if I'm going to go as far as to say that Gurley was an outstanding pick there, because obviously you're going with the high-risk, high-reward type of pick there. But, I mean, if he pans out and he can even come in and give you at least, 80% of what his talent level is, this year, the Rams are going to be an outstanding bet, I think, this year in the season win total. I don't trash what the Rams did in the draft at all. Picking up all those O-linemen and picking up a talent like Gurley to go with Fisher's game plan, I mean, absolutely outstanding draft for the St. Louis Rams.
I think they're a year away, but I would definitely be monitoring them game by game. If they start to show signs they're ready this year, like the Houston Astros are right now, then definitely I would look to bet the Rams as an underdog for sure in the early going and middle going.
I agree. I think it's tough to bet the over 8 wins right now.
Yeah, that's a pretty healthy total.
Given who's in the division too, I think we're all high on Arizona, and Seattle's going to be pretty good. And San Francisco, of course, a wild card, but week to week, I think this is a team that's going to be underrated, at least to start the year, so look for some of their early spreads.